If you're already subscribed, don't be like these Sonic leakers, basically fools, and press the subscribe button down there. It helps a lot. Anyways, cue the goddamn intro. How have we got yet another Sonic leak already? It's been barely 2 days since my last video on another Sonic leak. Jeez. Also, if you haven't seen yesterday's video, please go and watch it, because unlike the last time I said this, that video really did do terrible, and I actually mean it this time, so please go and watch it. It's about some very good news too. Right, for me begging you to watch a video you clearly aren't interested in, unless you would have watched the video already, let's just get into this leak. Since the first news about recasting on the Sonic Prime show has started to pop up, I think there's no reason to keep more details from getting out there. Yes, Sonic Unlimited is a thing. Here's what I know. It is not a complete reboot. This is a good new entry point for the series and shift in tone and direction. The most similar game in tone would be Sonic Unleashed. There's a balance between more serious moments and light-hearted ones. As previous leakers have said, the game deals with Hedgehog species, lore, and past. This is something that will also be in Sonic Prime. Yes, that's the self-discovery part mentioned in the show's synopsis. There's no boost. Not even as a limited thing, it just is it here. The new female antagonist is a hare. She uses some sort of spear, almost looks like a dragoon from Final Fantasy. You could say there are 2 new female antagonists if you count Eggman's new minion robot, Tribot. I saw one leaker say that the game could maybe get pushed to 2022, and even if that could be true, from what I know, it should be getting released this year. There are no wisps, but you can get limited power-ups with moon shards. They're tied to the plot, and Sonic and Amy can use them because they're hedgehogs. Why just Sonic and Amy are playable if there are other hedgehogs like Silver and Shadow? Well, Silver's that come back from the future, and a plot point of the game is that the cast doesn't know where Shadow is. So it also wants to appeal to a wider demographic. The gameplay feels really good. They've assembled a team that truly understands the balance between speed and control that a Sonic game should have. If you dislike Sonic games having stories, or you think that they shouldn't, this title will probably not be for you. It's by far the Sonic game with the biggest amount of cutscenes. It's by no means a super cinematic narrative experience, but it's a story and it's much more than an excuse to go through levels. There are really good writers involved with this, working very closely with Sega Japan. Super Form returns, and I won't say much about it to not spoil anything too big, but look forward to it. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it just me, or is there not a single use of foul language there? I think we need to give this leaker a round of applause. For not only that, but there was not a single spelling mistake in there either. This leak is off to a good start already. So, a lot of information is here. It may not necessarily be true at all, but anyhow, I'll now start to speculate and discuss. First off, the name. Sonic Unlimited. That's the most stupidest name for a Sonic game ever. How does that relate to the game in any way or form? When it comes to the name of Sonic games, the title always relates to what the game is about. Like any title should. For example, Sonic Adventure is called Sonic Adventure because it's a game where Sonic goes on an adventure to stop chaos. Sonic Unleashed is called Sonic Unleashed because Sonic is unleashed into the werehog. Sonic Forces is called Sonic Forces because it's about war. Do you see what I mean? With those names, even if you never played the game before, you can probably still work out the general basis of the story of the game by inferring meanings from the second word. But what's the game called Sonic Unlimited about? The leak says the game is about hedgehog lore and self-discovery, so why not call the game something like, I don't know, Sonic Discovery? Like, come on! They could have put a bit more thought into this leak to make it more believable. Sega really don't mess up the names of their games. It's just Sonic something. Fun fact actually, Team Sonic Racing is the only Sonic game to not start with Sonic's name. I'm pretty sure anyways. The first point this leaker says is that this alleged Sonic game is not a complete reboot, and it's just a change in tone and direction. And I must say that this makes it more believable. I'm pretty sure Sega would have learned the lesson from rebooting the franchise since the last 2 times they tried it. They both failed enormously. Sega have been playing it very safe with the most recent Sonic games. Mania, Forces, and Team Sonic Racing are all evidence of this. All of these games reuse areas from previous games. While it's fine to do that in TSR since it's a racing game, they still need to accommodate for that by putting in enough content, and that's where TSR falls short. People still need to remember that Sega haven't managed to prove to us that they can make a good full price game yet. I've seen an awful lot of people saying this year is going to be the best year for Sonic, and I hate to burst the bubble, but we still have no proof of that. Sure, this will be filled with celebration and lots of things to look forward to, but it's about quality, not quantity. It's why Mario and Zelda are able to survive with not releasing a mainline game every year, because the fans already know that Nintendo will always deliver every single time. That sadly is not the case with Sonic. Just remember, when saying this again, have low expectations. So, Sonic Unlimited is supposed to have a tone similar to Sonic Unleashed. SU. You know, because Sonic Unlimited, SU, Sonic Unleashed, Okay, I'll stop. With serious moments, but light-hearted ones too, which is a tick in my books. This might be hard to believe, but I actually think Sega could pull something like this off. We saw them touching on this in Forces and Lost World with serious parts, like Zavok eliminating each of Sonic's allies until he was left all alone. Or when we saw what a school fight looks like when Sonic got owned by Infinite. But then there were the light-hearted moments like a lot of Lost World and the end of Forces. The problems with these games is that while these moments were there, they were sometimes ruined by bad execution. But I think Sega can take the feedback of the fans and pull something off like the tone of Unleashed, especially since Pontac and Graph are gone. Sonic Unlimited is supposed to delve into the lore of the Hedgehog species and self-discovery, and tie this into Sonic Prime. I find this somewhat believable, as I do think there's a possibility that Sega will do something more than Sonic Prime, they're just making merch for it. And this is going to be contradicting Sonic Rift here, but there's no form of a boost in this game. It doesn't say what gameplay style it has, so that doesn't necessarily mean it'll have adventure gameplay. It could be parkour, momentum, or just a completely new gameplay style. I obviously think Sega's best option here is to just do adventure gameplay. It's very budget friendly, easy to develop for, and pretty much the whole fanbase is asking for it at this point. They'd be fools to not cash in on this. The main thing to take away from this is that the boost it looks like it's had its run, and will be coming back, at least not for a long while. So there'll be a female hair for an antagonist in this for a change rather than a male one, which could be very interesting. There could be a cool personality to a female villain. Maybe she could be like Merlina from Sonic and the Black Knight, starting off good, but ending evil. Hares are pretty swift animals too, so maybe she could rival Sonic's speed, just like Blaze. She uses a spear which is interesting. I guess this means she won't be with Eggman, or she would have some sort of mechanism. This could mean that we have Sonic and Eggman teaming up again. Or maybe Eggman just isn't part of the game entirely. Another possibility. She looks like a Dragoon from Final Fantasy, which gives us a better idea of what she could look like and do. This next one sounds a bit suspicious. Apparently there's a new, notice I put new in quotation marks there, female antagonist called Tribot. Just from hearing her name, I think you can already tell that she's the henchwoman for Eggman, which is a good sign. If Tribot is here, that has to mean Orbot and Cubot are still around, which I'll be very happy about. But now for the bad news. Well, it's not really bad news, it's just suspicions. I don't know if many of you know this, but Tribot is not something new. It's actually some sort of April Fool's joke. I'm pretty sure Sega wouldn't tease something from their game like that. And this leaker should know she isn't new, if he knows what he's doing. So my suspicions are more apparent now. The game might get delayed to 2022, which I can't say I'm surprised about, for two reasons. The first one being for actually getting the game completed. The pandemic really seemed to have affected Sega, and I don't think the development of this next Sonic game is an exception here. They already need more time to work on and polish the game, which I'm completely fine with. The last thing we want is another game with the polish level of 06, which wasn't very good, was it? The second reason the game could possibly get delayed is because they want to release it alongside the movie sequel, and also to go along with Sonic Prime, since it might be a tie-in. I'd rather delay a game just for that reason, so I'm just gonna go with the first option. There are no wisps in this game. Hell yeah! Instead, there are some moon shards, which only hedgehogs can use, like Sonic and Amy. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think if Sega were to make any character playable, it'd be Amy. It'd be Shadow or something like that. Someone who people actually really want to play as. Nobody has really come out and said that they desperately want to play Amy more than anything. It's mostly Shadow, Tails and Silver, but not Amy. I also think Sega would choose to make Amy a playable character if all the others aren't. Shadow and Silver are there because of plot points, which actually sounds somewhat believable. Sega might be trying to size down the cast for now so that things don't get too complicated, but also characters sitting around doing nothing like Generations and Forces. But Sega seem to have brought Shadow back a lot. I don't think Sega would just get rid of the second most popular Sonic character. It would be silly of them. I don't understand how making Amy playable and getting rid of Shadow and Silver would really appeal to a wider demographic either. If anything, it would do the opposite. Lots of people love Shadow, and if they see that he's playable, they're going to buy the game right away. That's actually why people bought Forces. They saw the Shadow gameplay and they were like, Sega, take my money! The gameplay is apparently very good. Sega got some very competent developers to make it, which is great. Aha! Take that, Nintendo. You could take the teams of Unleashed and Generations from us, but we still have more. Until you go and steal them too. The story in Sonic Unlimited is really significant, and the game relies on it too, which is great. I want to actually feel like the story actually does something, rather than just stating the obvious. This game will also have the most cutscenes in the Sonic game yet, a big step up from TSR, with no cutscenes except the opening CGI. The writing is really good too, working very closely with the Japanese team, which is interesting. This Japanese team like using some interesting language, shall we say, in their scripts. The fun thing here is super forms are returning with a special surprise which he doesn't want to spoil again. Notice how I put spoil in quotation marks, since we can pretty much piece all of this information together. Well, let's see here. Amy is playable. The leaker said that there's a surprise regarding super forms. So, put 2 and 2 together, and you find Amy is getting a super form. Boom! Crack the code once again. Sorry, Mr. Leaker, but Detective Unleashed is too good for you. You only need to try way harder at keeping secrets if you're actually going to try and keep them. That is all for the leak and this video. I'm going to say this again. This is a leak. None of this could be true, and probably won't be. So don't go and expect this for the next game. You got me? Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.